Right, basically the differences between a 45 WLA engine, it's a 59 FL engine, big twin, overhead valve. Just a difference, you can see the difference in the size of the conrods, the pistons, the flywheels, everything, yeah?
Okay.
Now this one's come in threaded gone on your timing sight plug, which you can try and bodge it up, put some sort of goo in there to hold the nut in, but realistically the only way to do it is get yourself one of these threaded on the inside and the outside, yeah?
Okay.
So you then tap that out, so tap him out, drill it to 19mm, tap that out, insert that, and then your standard nut can go back in there, yeah?
Okay.
But clearly it's engine out, barrels off, everything, just to tap that hole out, because you don't want all that metal going inside the engine.
Yeah.
That's the flywheel out of a 45, the conrods and flywheel, yeah?
Okay.
You look at the size of the rods, lot beefier, yeah?
Yeah.
Size of the pistons, obviously flat top because it's side valve, overhead valve, reliefs for the valves because the valves are coming down instead of out the side. Just purely the size of it. The casings are very similar in the outward look. If you look at that one, slightly different setup, but the outer casing looks very similar shape, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Clearly it isn't. The flathead big twins, like your Model U's and that, they're almost identical, but it's just got the bigger flywheels. You can tell by the depth of the casings. So that's that one. So that's your outlet side. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the big twin, it's just a big brother of, you know? But a much better setup. So all you've got on these is those roller bearings. Yeah? So they fit on your crank pin, either side, whichever. Okay? And they rotate inside those. And you take all of your side thrust movement up with shim washers. I think there's one on there still, isn't there? Yeah, so you've got shim washer there. That's removable. Okay?
Yeah.
So you get all different thickness shim washers to take up your side thrust, and that goes on there like that, and that gives you your end float of your crankshaft,
Yeah.
in and out. But on a big twin you've got double rollers, taper rollers, so you've got a tapered race in that side, yeah, and a tapered race in that side. So you have to press that back on. Well, no, that will go on straight away. That will just slide on. Okay? So that fits on there. Then you've got to press that bearing onto there. So you just make a little collar up. So on there. It'll push that as you thread that in there.
Yeah.
Because that's what you call your compensating nut. There's a great big spring on there. Like on a British bike, they're called cush drives. That goes on there like that. That goes on there like that. Yeah. And there's a spring. That big fucking great spring goes on there. There's another flange on there as well, which is the other side of that. And you just do it all up, and it's designed so when you accelerate, it will do that.
Oh, right, okay.
So it takes the shock, it gives it, you know, if you pop the clutch really hard, it'll go just to take, otherwise you snap chains and things like that. It's just to take that initial shock out of it. English call it a cush drive, they call it a compensating nut. So obviously 750 45, much smaller pistons, and that is a FL big twin 74 cubic inch 1200cc. So it's almost double the capacity, not quite. I don't know why he does it every fucking morning. I'm the only here. Go outside and just punch him straight in the face. You and your fucking alarm. Oh. So basically, you've got engine rotates. Obviously, this is an overhead valve, so you have push rods.
Yep.
Yeah, pushing your valves, which go up your tubes, sit on the outside of the barrel. So those slots there are purely for getting the cylinder heads on. They bolt from the underneath. Your tubes are on the outside. Push rod tubes go up to the cylinder head. So he sits on there, like so, yeah?
Yep.
So your tubes come up there and there and go into two pockets there. 1, 2. You've got a dome-ended adjustable push rod by these, so you can adjust these.
Yep.
So they sit on the cam, go up and down as the engine rotates. And you adjust so you've got no slack. You can turn the push rod, yeah?
Yeah.
When it's on the right position, when you set it up. You turn the push rod, but there's no actual physical up and down movement.
Okay.
Yeah? So that then goes into the top of your rocker box. So in theory, this coming in just for that timing button plug has done us a favour realistically, because it is leaking here, there and everywhere, you know. So normally the threads are bollocks on these. See, none of those are tight. This is called a pan head. Obviously a pan. You get knuckle, shovel, pan and flat head. See, whereas you got your adjustable push rod there, on a 45, that is flat topped and just hits the bottom of the valve.
Yeah.
And you adjust it from there. It's just an evolution of time, really. That's 1942 or 43, and that's 1959. But luckily, you can get the heads on and off with the engine in the frame. It's a tight fit, but you can do it. But it's a lot easier to take the heads off and then put them in personally when it's in the bike, because one, I can't pick the engine up because it's too heavy, and getting them out, because you have to lift them up to get the bottom that sits below the frame.
Yeah.
So you physically can't pick it up high enough to get the engine out. You could probably roll it out sideways, I don't know, but it's probably only 3/16 of an inch gap on the rear cylinder to the top of the frame from the top of that. So it is a tight old fit. Wow, blimey, one was tight. It's a miracle, I tell you. I mean, when all the gaskets are fresh on these, they're great. But once they come apart a load of times, the gaskets have had it.
Yeah.
Absolute waste of time. Normally you get these sometimes, these outer rings can crack. All sorts of strange things go on. Right, so that's just basically a clamp block.
Yep.
To hold your pan head down on, yeah? And you can see the amount of goo, sealer, everything that's been put round it, which you're not solving the issue. I mean, they're quite sturdy, these, but you don't want to force them because you end up bending the bloody things. You've got cork underneath it, so that's your rocker box cover. Pan head rocker box cover. Truly horrible gasket. That's rock hard. Never going to seal jack shit, that. And been covered in loads and loads of sealer. Ugh. Right, so push rods, when they're timed up, come up through there, hit on that, that's the ball, the same as that. Okay, right, that's your push rod. So he sits in there. So as the engine rotates, different sizes, you can't put them in wrong.
Yeah.
Fat ball, small ball. That physically won't fit in the hole. So as the engine rotates, the camshaft opens it,
Yeah.
pushes the push rod up, that pushes on there, opens your valve, which is timed to miss the scallop in here.
Yeah.
Get it wrong, game over. Got to get it right,
Yeah.
because that will hit that, and that's game over. So they fit up in there. See, that's a nice fit in the ball socket. Wrong way round.
Yeah.
No good. So once you've got them off, I'll give it a quick decoat, which I said I'd do for him. Check these are nipped down. Make sure your oil squirter's on the front one. Sorry, on the exhaust one. And that's it, really. But obviously it needs new gaskets. You check all your threads, tap them out, get all the crap out of them. So once you've got new gaskets, people tend to over tighten them. What you should do is whack them down, not hard, then get a heat cycle in it, and then just go around once again.
Yeah.
Because it ends up with that, with the heat, they get hot, obviously goes rock hard, and it's not compliant. That's just, it'll just snap, you know. They're just horrible things. So you can get rubber neoprene ones. I think they've got a metal insert around them, like a one-piece metal and rubber gasket. But again, generally, once they get hard, they're no good again. So that's basically how that engine works in difference to that engine. All your basic situations are the same, like the oil pump's on the front here, but on the side here. So just something as simple as that, threads being gone, has ended up with that being like that. Sounds horrendous, but if you drilled that out and all that metal goes in there and in that oil pump, it's game over. So that's the basic difference between a flathead and an overhead valve.